Hello, this is Christian Physician, and welcome to the 6th grade major theology test. This test consists of 60 questions that are multiple choice that I use to teach theology in Port Huron, Michigan. So let me tell you a little bit about how this came about and what the audience is for the test. So I grew up Catholic, and even when I was 5 or 6 years old, I remember listening to the homilies and listening to the priest talk, and I felt intellectually insulted because everything was just dumbed down so much. And so I knew kids are capable of so much more, and I did a lot with theology and got several degrees and came back after now. I taught for 3 years at St. Mary McCormick in Port Huron, Michigan. And this is the test that I used after the first 2 months in class to get all the kids up to a very high level most adults don't have. The problem with textbooks today is they kind of dumb everything down for the students, and the students I find are hungry for the real knowledge and the stuff that makes theology fun. And so I decided when I came in to teach, and I had the support of the principal who was a deacon in the church to let me kind of do what I wanted. And so this is what I used to teach them and what they were required to know after the beginning of 6th grade. I taught this along with memorization techniques and what I call the Noah's flood model. Sometimes a parent would get concerned about the depth of what I was teaching the kids, and I would just say, let me handle it, let me deal with it, your kid is going to be fine. And we did the Noah's flood model, although few kids ever failed the test, and only usually in the first year because I was just getting into teaching. And so how I would do that is if anyone fails the test, the class stops, and the students who were super smart and did really well worked with a student who didn't do very well, and then there was a retake of the test. And so, in other words, like no one was left behind. We're all in Noah's Ark together, and this is how it's going to work. My class was pretty low key, and I treated the students more like they were friends. I didn't have like a teacher complex and I'm great, I'm a teacher, and you're not. And we just had fun, and it was good. So I'm going to see if this translates a little bit more out into the world as opposed to just teaching this to students. The audience is 6th grade to adult, and in terms of my own experience, like with my son, he's been taking this test maybe once a year since he was in 2nd grade, and he's okay. But unless you really know the information, it might not work. So is this test for you? Probably. Whether you're Catholic or Protestant, it should work. If you're really fundamentalist or non-denominational, you might have to think about it for a second. Sometimes you can't do something like this without somebody thinking you're bad or going to hell or something. And I'm not too worried about that. And I hope we can just all agree to disagree when we do. So that is the introduction to this test. And now we'll be moving on to the questions one by one.